You are now listening to the sounds of Mood Swing Music Group.
What's up, man? Welcome back to the channel, man. And today we're going to do something different. Today we're going to do Musical Mondays with Mitch. I'm your host, Mitch. Today what we're going to talk about, man, is my top 5 reasons why these beat reviews are not effective. Stay tuned. So yeah, man, we're going to start off, man, talking about these beat reviews that I see a lot of these channels doing, man, and how I feel they are not effective, right? And remember, I said how I feel they're not effective. If you feel a different way about it, do what you do. Keep paying these people to play your beats. Do whatever it is you want to do. I think it's counterproductive, but let's get into it. So number one, the main reason why I don't think that they are effective is because most of the people that's entering their music into these beat reviews are not ready for constructive criticism. And you gotta be to a point in your career where you are ready for people to give you constructive criticism. You gotta be to a point in your career where when you get constructive criticism, you have to understand how to use it to make you bigger, stronger, and faster. You don't take constructive criticism and turn it into negative energy and start lashing out at people, right? I mean, we see it all the time because most artists are sensitive about their work. I mean, I've been doing it for quite a while now, and I'm still sensitive about my work. So when I say that, I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about all of us. So constructive criticism, that's something that we all need to get our brains wrapped around. We all need to understand when we getting good constructive criticism so that we know how to take it and use it to make our music better. When you're just getting criticized, sometimes you take that with a grain of salt. It might be some truth in it. It may not be. Somebody might just be jealous. Brush it off and keep it pushing. The second thing, man, is the person that's doing a beat review may or may not be a well-rounded musician, right? You might have somebody doing a beat review and the only thing they know how to make is trap beats. But here you are, man, you might make pop music, you might make R&B, you might make jazz, and they don't put those stipulations on the beat review, right? Because they want you to pay the $25 to $50 to enter. And that's really what they care about. They get that money, they gonna play your music, and that's just what that is, right? But they may be one of those type people, man, that's kind of like locked into what they do. You may have something that sounds really good and sonically is something brand new, and they don't even recognize it. Music is like that, it's art. So my thing about that is, man, when I say they may or may not be a well-rounded musician can listen to a rock track, a pop track, a hip-hop track, a R&B track, and understand where that is going, right? I mean, you got a lot of people, man, that's just locked in hip-hop, and that's just where they at with it, and you gotta watch sending your music to people like that if you don't just do hip-hop. If you submitting something that's not just hip-hop, you gotta watch sending your music to people like that, because what happens is you may not get the critique or the review that you want from your music because they not into that type music, and it could possibly end up just going bad for you and having you feeling less of a musician based on what you heard from somebody that you kind of looking up to and looking to get that information from. So, you know, they may or may not be a well-rounded musician. You just need to keep that in mind. Number 3, I think a lot of these beat reviews, man, kind of lower the morale in the producer community a little bit, right? Because you get in these beat reviews, and a lot of these guys have they have the live chat going. And what you have to understand is most of the people in the live chat, I'm gonna say 85% of the people in the live chat are there for entertainment. And you end up being their entertainment for the evening because they don't make music. You know, that 15% of you guys in there that make music, you guys in there telling the truth and being honest, and you got this 85% that's in there cracking jokes. I mean, saying all kind of crazy stuff about your music, saying what you should have did, telling you how trash your music is. You know, that's the going term nowadays. Everybody want to call somebody trash. Remember, the people that's in there doing that in those live chats, man, they don't even make music most of the time. And I got a problem with that, because when you leave that live chat open and you realize that most of those people don't make music, they just there for entertainment and shock value, they shit on the producer that's really trying to be heard by that person. And sometimes they can sway opinion, right? Because they can say so much in that chat that it gets discouraging, man. And you like I said before, you may have something that's sonically brand new that everybody just don't understand yet. So I just think, man, that it lowers morale in the producer community. It have producers kind of, second and third guessing themselves and not really sure of what they should be doing and how they should be doing it based on the response they getting from the chat. And I think it's kind of unfair to guys, man. So kind of beware for that when you entering your songs into these beat reviews and the chat is wide open and you got a bunch of people in there just saying whatever they want to say willy-nilly, man. It gets kind of tough. So that's just my third thing, man. I think it's very important to bring that up, because some people let that chat drive their energy. And I think we need to, a lot of times you can ignore the chat and just understand what your focus is as far as musically and keep it pushing, man. Number 4, if you have to pay, I think that does a little something to the producer. It makes the producer feel like his music should get a certain amount of attention. And I've seen some of these lives, man, where the guy that's reviewing the beats, he'll play a song and he'll play it for like 30 seconds, right? Because he may or may not be into that type of track. So he'll play it and he'll be like, yeah, that's cool. And then when the track comes on that's made of the type of elements that he's into, he'll play it for a minute and a half and lead all the way up into the hook and let you get a full feel of the track and let you hear transitions and everything. And what that does, a lot of your producers that's putting their music in those reviews start to feel funny about it, right? Because if this guy paid 25 or 50 and he paid 25 or 50, he got 30 seconds and a bunch of talking. This guy got a minute and 30 and all praises. It's like, you didn't even give mine a chance to roll, right? Now, I know they're gonna say this industry thing, right? Oh, if it ain't hitting in the first few bars and all this, but you doing a beat review. Review the beat. If you're gonna review the beat, if you're gonna have people paying you, I think you should review the beat. I think you should give everybody a fair shot and review the beat. None of that okey doke funny stuff. Review the beat, give everybody the same amount of time, set it up to where you're giving everybody 1 minute, 60 seconds. Everybody gets 60 seconds. That way everybody know how to structure their tracks when they send them to you, so that they can get, for 60 seconds, they can get their money's worth. But that's just me. That's just the way I feel about it, man. So I just feel like because you paying, a lot of producers feel like they track should get a certain amount of attention. I don't think everybody's track get that same amount of attention, man. So, beware for that when you enter your track into these beat battles, man. I'm not battles, these reviews. You know what I'm saying? Just understand that you might be the guy to get 20 seconds that evening, man. And, people may not hear your full concept. And number 5. As a guy that's been doing this, man, for a while, I just think they useless, right? Because at the end of the day, when you get done and you watch these guys, they might be producers and they might just be content creators. They sit there and they cater to certain people, and then they kind of blow certain people off, and they kind of play the game the way they want to play it. They get to talking too much instead of reviewing tracks. I think it's useless, man, because at the end of the day, the musicians who pay the money to have their tracks entered in the beat reviews, I feel like they are no further with their music career, than they were before the beat review started. The beat review come and go, and they did it on some sort of live. People may or may not go back and watch it. People may or may not even care about hearing a beat review, right? People hear it that night. But at the end of the day, man, you paid somebody $25, $50. They threw your music on for a couple seconds, and at the end, when it all boils down, man, you right back sitting in your studio making beats the same way you were before you got in the beat review, and somebody yayed or nayed your track. You know what I'm saying? It don't get you nowhere. It's nothing in it. It's absolutely nothing in it. And I hear some of these guys talking about, I help you get your track to a certain point and all that. Yeah, that's cool if you do it. That's dope. I mean, I ain't saying that ain't dope. That's dope if you do it. I mean, if you got enough integrity to do it, that's dope. But a lot of cats, man, I mean, I just feel like they doing beat reviews just to be doing beat reviews, and that leads me into the number 6 reason, and this is the bonus for this video. My number 6 reason for these guys doing beat reviews is because pretty much, man, they out of content, and they using you as content. They just using you as content. They go live, they say it's a beat review. They have all their subscribers get on there. Like I said, 85% of them don't make music or don't make good music. And then they sit there and criticize everybody who paid their money to enter their beats in there. And I'm not saying that everybody that paid money to enter their beats in there are worthy of a good critique, because some guys just don't have it yet, right? And the reason they paying the money to get in there is to get the constructive criticism to find out where they lacking at so that they can improve. So everybody won't get a good review and everybody won't sound good, right? But for the guys who really put the work in, and then you get up here and you have people just out here just critiquing your music and saying all kind of crazy stuff, I think that's kind of, I think it's kind of crazy, but it makes for content. And you have to watch turning yourself into content on other people's channels. You have to really watch that, man, because what happens is a lot of these content creators run out of content. If you're looking at these guys and they uploading content 2, 3, 4 times a week, trust me, they running out of ideas. And if they not, they some of the smartest guys on the planet. Because if you stick to music and you uploading 3 to 4 times a week, you are going to run out of content. You definitely gonna run out of content. That's why you see a lot of these guys, they selling a lot of product on their channels. I mean, they doing all kind of stuff just to have content on that channel because they trying to keep that YouTube check coming. I ain't got a problem with that. But my thing is this, don't make yourself into content for their channel and be a victim of their channel with your music. If you got good music, do what you're supposed to do with your good music. Take your music and put your music out. That's what you need to be doing with good music. You don't need to be critiqued by these guys. Stick to the script. Do what it is you do. Handle your business. Compare your music to the greats. Once you get it up on the level of the greats, keep it pushing. You don't need these guys to critique your beat. You know what I'm saying? I hear a lot of guys get in there and they be getting their beats critiqued or whatever, and it's like, okay, this don't even need critiquing. No, this is a pretty good track, right? This is a keeper. Unless you just showing off at this point. But I mean, everybody don't need it. So that's it, man. That's my top 5 plus 1. The reasons why these beat reviews are not effective to me, and I say it to me. So feel free to get in the comments, man, and tell me what you think about beat reviews. Tell me any experiences you had with beat reviews. And this is the first episode of Musical Mondays with Mitch, man. I'm your host, Mitch. Like I always say, don't just be a producer, be productive. Get in the studio, be working on something. And whatever you working on, make sure it make you better than you was the last time. Peace.